Hey everybody, this is Lightstar, and 2020 is just around the corner. So I'm starting out with my Oracle Consciousness reading for the first quarter of 2020. So we're going to see how the energy flows and where the energy goes. And so you're going to want to stick around to get more insights into all the energies and what's going to be happening and how to best prepare for this first jump out of the gate of the new year wherever you're at. So stay tuned, stick around, and I will see you real soon. Greetings everyone, this is Lightstar, and welcome everybody. We are going to dive in today for an exciting episode here on my channel we're talking about the upcoming 2020 first quarter Oracle Consciousness reading. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that I usually have these dressed as like fall or winter or spring or summer of whatever year we're in. Well, I'm going to be changing it slightly just to talk to you about what's coming up, and I'm going to talk to you about it in terms of quarters instead of seasons. And the reason for doing this is basically because I understand that there is the same seasons or not throughout the entire country. Everybody's on slightly different seasons, and so there was a little confusion probably about that, even though what I bring through is usually relevant for wherever you are. But I realized that it's probably better just to actually take this or address these kind of readings as quarterly. So that's what I'm going to do. And so this is going to be for the first quarter of the new year. Now, again, I understand that the new year is slightly different for a lot of countries that don't actually start it on, January 1st or celebrate it in that time frame. But just think of it as whenever your new year begins, that first quarter is what I'm talking about. So even if it isn't right at this time of January, like here in the US, we celebrate it in that time frame. And that means that's the start of our new year. So this is going to cover that first couple of months within the new year. And for us out here, it's going to be January. So it'll be like January through March is kind of what this is going to cover. And then I'll come back on again and do my quarterly update for like the second quarter. And so that'll be around March. So just to give you a little bit of insight into why I'm changing that, just the terminology of it, it's going to be basically the same type of thing. So, and I want to also welcome all of you guys that are here for the first time. If you don't know who I am, I have a channel video there that talks about my trailer just on what you're going to get on these channels or on this channel, and different videos and different content. And if you'd like to join the tribe here, that would be great. So go ahead and do that, and click the notification bell, that kind of stuff. So I want to also just say that there's a lot of things that have been going on YouTube, and I'm probably going to be doing a video just on that before the end of this year. But I didn't want to do it right in this video because I got a lot of things to cover that I want to do that first. But I just want to also say, wherever you guys are finding me, if you're seeing me on YouTube here, that I want to also encourage you guys to go onto my website and bookmark my website, which is lightstarcreations.com. Just bookmark the site, because in the event that I'm not on here anymore, you'll be able to see where I am and where I'm transitioned to. Usually my contact page has all my social media platforms or where I am. So I'm going to cover some things in another video, but I just wanted to also encourage you guys that like my content, what all the stuff that's going to happen to a lot of people's channels on here, and I'll go into that later. But just bookmark my channel if you like, or my website itself, to just be able to keep up with where I am just in case of, okay? But anyways, I'm going to continue on with this and how we're going to do this particular reading is I'm going to do this from my Magical Dimensions Oracle cards and activators. I know a lot of you guys have them. Those of you that don't, I actually created this deck for the world, and it's extremely powerful, extremely accurate, and I'm going to use this in these readings. So what I'm doing is I'm going to my book, the guidebook that I wrote, which is this little guy right here, and it is going to do the half moon key formation because it's usually a formation that works really well with these quarterly readings. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and I'm just going to put the this is the overview that I'm going to have you see of the layout of what we're going to do, and then I'm going to bring up each card in its placement based upon what's going to be coming up for this first quarter, energetically speaking. Okay, so I'll just read you a little bit about what the half moon key formation is. This is the half moon key formation delves into the subconscious and emotions and provides core insights into deeper underlying issues. The placements will show what the energies are surrounding your question and the tools needed to move past blocks with grace or ease and grace. So what I'm going to do here is now we're going to dive in. Okay, so we're asking questions about specific things about the overview, the overall view of the Oracle consciousness reading. So that's going to be the consciousness of what's going on in more of the higher state or the higher perspective look at it. But this also dives into some of our personal lives. So I actually usually go both, where I'll talk a little bit about how it affects maybe your personal or how it might be affecting the consciousness as a whole. Sometimes it's mixed in there, but that's basically why we do that. So the first placement, that's why I was trying to figure out the word. The first placement here is going to be key number 1. And key number 1 depicts your current situation and its surrounding emotion and energy. And in this first placement, the card that I'm choosing here is Wisdom. Okay, and Wisdom has, my deck has 3 guide words that are underneath it to help you out a bit. But basically it's psychic, intuition, and truth. Now so the Wisdom card is really potent. It comes up in the first overview. Okay, so this is our overview of what we're looking at for that first quarter. What are the energies? Okay, we're first starting out with our current wisdom. We're actually moving from a place of fatigue and exhaustion in some ways, in the mental place. I feel that we're coming out of some of that from the fall. Just a lot of mental stuff going on. And I feel like we've been exhausted from that. Okay, so I see it on a whole consciousness on a whole has been fatigued energy comes up. Okay, it just feels like it's kind of fatiguing, and the energy feels a little bit exhausted. So intuitively, we've been really working hard. I think that muscle has been getting some use, and it's a good thing, but I also feel like we need to move into a place of maturity with ourselves, and that's kind of where we're going with the energy, is kind of moving into a refined state of consciousness. And also I want to point out here that I just did a channeled message from Ascended Master Hilarion, and it's for 2020 as a whole. Okay, it just came out. It's published in the Sedona Journal of Emergence, so you can actually read it in there. But it's actually, I also just did a channeled message of that, so that you can, it's on YouTube, it's on my channel. So you can go back and look at that, because that actually, he lays out a lot. He coming from a higher perspective, obviously, that it's not going to be very specific types of predictions, but he talks a lot about different things that are upcoming that are going to be shifting in 2020 as a whole. And I think it's a really good thing. I'm diving into a little bit more details with the first quarter here. Okay, but you might want to reference that video just so you have some insight there. It's pretty powerful stuff that comes through. But in this way that we're starting out our current situation, we're trying to get more wisdom. we want to gain more in this first part of the year. A lot of times we're always like releasing stuff at the end of the year anyway, things we don't want to deal with anymore, or things we're done with, or then we know what to put on our plate for next year. And so that's kind of where we're at, is just sort of trying to gain our equilibrium, I feel, overall. So I feel like it's been a little bit of a rough ride towards the end here. But I feel like there's just been a lot of exhaustion energy. It's all I can really say about that. And so let's move on to key number 2, which relays your past, or the past, I should say, and shows the energies of the past consciousness. So the card that comes up in this particular placement is Celestial Assistance. And Celestial Assistance has the words on the bottom are angel messages, angelic messages, guidance, and enlightenment. And what I feel here with this in the past, this is also coming from the past, just the recent past. What were we supposed to be kind of gaining from even just the fall energies? Well, I feel, trust was coming up. So the angels are there, and it's not just angels, but this is really more of our own enlightenment. Have we been listening? Have we been trusting our own intuition? Have we been listening to messages that we've been receiving? Or has it been difficult to receive the messages and we're just kind of like, oh gosh, feeling like we're all alone and we're, in this without any help? Okay, that's one of the things that I feel we really have to move out of. And a lot of people do feel like they don't have anybody and that they are all alone and that nobody's out there to assist, or even, I should say, nobody's in there to assist, not out there, right? It's all about in here, that you are never alone. And that is like a illusion that we seem to have on this planet that is pervading everywhere. It just is like saturated in here about the fact that we don't have help, even when we know the angels are there. We know, like logically we know, but sometimes we get lost and we can't really, we sort of have to muddle our way out of there. So I feel like coming out of that, where have we been with our trust levels in knowing that we're not alone, and knowing that there are beings there to help us, and also our own energies of our own higher self that's here just for us to help us through situations, to get guidance, to move us to a higher place for everything that we do. Okay, so how have we been living our lives, and how have we extracted any nuggets of wisdom, the nuggets of truth in the areas of trusting ourselves and not feeling alone? Okay, so then we move on to key number 3, which illuminates the lesson, the growth, wisdom pathways for you to attain. Okay, so when we talk about the lesson, okay, that's pretty interesting. And the lesson, we've got the card called Dreamscape. And this is dream work, subconscious, and imagination. Now, this is it's kind of an inward card, right? This has to do with the subconscious mind. It has to do with going inward into areas where we to boldly go where no one has gone before. This is diving deep into yourself, because the subconscious has to do with all the things that you're not aware of, things that are things you're not aware of. Okay, so I feel like in this growth process of the first quarter is for us to really look at some of these deeper subconscious programming. Programming is coming up a lot, and I don't really particularly like that word, but we use it a lot. Okay, but I'm just using in this term of saying like the programs that we've had from when we were children or kids that still keep running on that hamster wheel. There is a resurgence, I feel, in that. I feel like it's actually been started in this last part of our year here in 2019, but I do feel there is an energetic push for us really to look at these subconscious things more, to bring them to the surface, and to bring them to a place of consciousness in our conscious awareness, so that they can be cleared. And I feel like there is going to be some intensity. I feel like there's an intense movement in this first period of the year, where I feel the energy is very intense. It's like you can almost cut it with a knife. It's very intense. And so there might be some stress and some pressure and things bubbling to the surface. But I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like these are things that we need to break through. So and that's why it's our lesson to really look at these things from a deeper place than we have before, so that we can move on, and that we can, pay attention to your dream state, to your dreams. What is bringing it to the surface? What is coming up for you? My dreams have been particularly interesting lately. I haven't been having a lot of dreams about ET stuff as much as I do sometimes, but it's been actually more on this realm, okay, in the last couple months particularly, and I feel like that's going to continue, because I feel like that's where some of this work is coming from, is really looking at our energies here and what have we not addressed that is still sitting in there. I mean, we're always going to have some of that, but I feel like some of this stuff's really coming up to be cleared and cleansed, and that is going to be happening in the first part of the year, where we get this momentum going for the new year and for things to start and to get off the ground. And what are we going to do with our, I don't know, New Year's resolutions, what goals, whatever dreams, things like that that you want to put out there. And I also feel, but don't forget, not just what you want to do, what you want to put out there, but to look at what has been in the way of you actually attaining, getting these things going, okay? Because there's some things that are probably in the door that are, it's like something you're trying to, close the door, and there's something that just got in the way of you actually closing that door. So it's kind of like we need to look at that subconscious. That's really coming up big time, and that's going to be that first thing. So now we look at key number 4, which is going to be exposing the hidden influence, okay? The unconscious of what needs to be exposed. Sometimes this is, I know I talked about the subconscious in that previous one, which was the lesson, where you'd think that would be the hidden influence, but this is how the cards work, that this is actually really good, because the Majestic Eminence card, which is the one for the hidden influence and the unconscious of what needs to be exposed, is coming up as, this is the Priestess, Divine Feminine, and last word, worth, which is the most important thing about this right here in this reading, is this is about our worth, okay? So I've been talking about this because this card comes up a lot, and I feel like there's just been sort of this struggle with a lot of us around our worth. And this goes to the previous segment in this placement about bringing these things to the surface. Well, one of these things is about our worth. What do we feel? How do we feel about our own worth? And that what is the illusion that has been in the way of us stepping forward? Like, we don't feel maybe worthy of having this, or maybe we don't feel worthy of having that, but then it's like, is that real? Is that really true? No, it's not. It's an illusion, right? So we're fighting against something that is actually really an illusion overall. And this also brings up in the greater expanded placement, where we're also talking about feeling our worth in the political scene, to whatever you want to, I'm not going to go into that, but generally speaking, we have all these issues about, countries feeling worthy or not worthy or whatever, and it's feeling like stepping up, like where we're at and what we feel we deserve, I guess. I don't really like using that term either, but in this regard, where we're at with, it's just bringing it up to the surface. When we say, like, what do we feel we deserved? We deserve to have that. It's only because we felt like at a time where we actually didn't feel like we should have that. And then now we come to a place where, like, yeah, I do feel like, that's something that is a right for me to have, and I shouldn't be feeling like it's like, oh, I can't have that, or can't do that, or, because I'm not worthy. So the worth comes up a lot. And I feel like we need to move past this and stop fighting ourselves so hard, okay? So right there is a clue right out of the gate in the first quarter. When we're dealing with this, we're actually dealing with subconscious issues. We're dealing with subconscious issues of worth and getting past fighting ourselves and fighting other people as well. Feeling the need to have to fight for your, it's like all of this stuff is just it's extending so much energy in really the wrong place that it's causing a lot of friction and tension. So we want to look at that as well. So then when we look at key number 5, key number 5 displays the next step with making necessary adjustments to shift the situation. And in this placement, we see the guardians, which is shielding, defense, and warning. Okay. And this is, okay, so this is coming up with what is our next step here. And the guardians is an interesting card. Sometimes it does mean more shielding and warning, and sometimes it just means like, have we been overly guarded? Have we been overly guarding ourselves? And in what way have we been guarding ourselves to the extent that we have not been able to step forward? Okay, so that's what I feel is going on here, is that is some of these hindrances that I was speaking about before, that as we begin to unpack them, like little packets or whatever, and we start to unpack these things, we start to look at them, we start seeing how guarded we have been really in our lives, and that has also contributed. So when we're walled off and we just have this like, right now there's a lot of defensiveness going on in the world. Everyone's just like, it feels like everybody's just attacking one another for every little thing, okay? And that's kind of this, where we're just having to just, shields up, shields up, shields up, constantly all over the place. I have a healing shields attunement sessions that help with the shields. I actually created shields, 7 different shields myself, imagery, and also a session work that goes along with that, because there is a need for it at this moment. I'm not saying that shields are all bad, because there's some times where we do need to do that. But then we have to learn how to utilize shielding systems from walling it off so much so that we don't even experience anymore. And that's when it goes awry. So we're going to have to look at where to implement those healing shields. Okay. You can also check out my website on my healing shields if you guys are interested in that kind of work. But that's kind of where I feel like we're going to be moving into a place in the beginning of learning how to better utilize our own shielding systems to remove some of these blocks that have been in our way. Okay. Now we go to key number 6, which gives you the gift and the perspective to focus on for spiritual growth. And in this placement, we have the harmonic resolution card. Now you'd probably think like, whoa, that's a pretty crazy card. Like, why would that be a gift? Well, because this is all about, okay, so the bottom of the card says negativity, anger, and transmutation. Okay, that is the gift, transmuting all of that nasty stuff. So we're going to have an opportunity to move that stuff out of the way. It's going to take some courage on your part and all of our parts to step up to releasing these angers and frustrations and all of that kind of stuff on a higher consciousness level that we've built up, and that just gets expanded and just grows and starts feeling like it's just a lot of muck. But we start to feel that we're going to be releasing some of that stuff energetically, emotionally, so that we need to step up to doing that. Though we have to do our own work. It's not like it's done for us. We have to actually take the responsibility to do your own work on anger management or anger diffusion or frustration energies, picking up energies from other people as well, and just being able to dispel them and being able to be in your own joy without having to be sucked down into all the negativity of the world, all this craziness, all of the, the uncertainty and all that stuff. We're just going to have a way now and opportunities to step up, to be courageous, and move our own crap out of the way. Okay, it's just the best way to put that. Sorry. Let's go into the key number 7, which foreshadows the outcome and energies after integration of all the other cards. And what a perfect card to get, which is transformation, metamorphosis, synchronicity, and the unexpected. So, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, but I do feel like there's an energy momentum here of transformation. So with that, we can start to gain some headway into what we really want to create. Okay, so maybe we move a lot of things through the first quarter, towards the end of the first quarter, we've kind of gone through all this like stuff, this energy. Now we're kind of getting somewhere. Now we get to a place where we feel like, okay, yes, this is good. And all these energies start moving in a forward momentum or direction, and you get a little bit easier feeling of all of that. So that's where I feel like overall we're going in that direction of transmuting and transforming of our energies and change. Okay, so I feel like a tremendous amount of change will be coming around. That's going to be around, well, around in these parts, it'd probably be around February, March, into that, March area. Okay, everybody else, that's going to be your first quarter, and it's in a different time area where you're celebrating it in. Like, I know the Chinese New Year is like around February, so they're going to be celebrating a month into this. So, and then some other countries celebrate it at a completely different time. But again, so this might be early for you guys because you may not even be celebrating it, or it might be late depending on when someone's celebrating the new year. So this is why I say, like, just keep all of that with a grain of salt. This is just going into the energies of the first quarter. A lot of shifting and transformation, a lot of looking at our internal subconscious issues, especially having to do with worth. The worth thing has come up several times. I feel like we've really been working through that on a very high level, conscious level. It's coming out into our expression in our world. Who's worthy? Who people that haven't been respected enough, or that kind of thing is coming up, and everybody's getting angry about it. It's only because that's just the nature of what happens when we look at these big issues that have been hidden away for so long on your own personal level, but then on a consciousness level where that is coming out, and it comes out in sometimes an ugly way first, but just because it's got to express itself. Just no different than if you're like really angry and you don't do anything about it. You're going to build up, and then eventually it's going to come out in a really nasty way instead of how it could have been in a healthy processing. So that is the message overall. I'm really excited about the first quarter here, and I'm really excited for you guys to take the energies, work with them, and to see where all of your projects go and everything that goes. You can, again, go back to the Master Hilarion channeling, see what he has to say from higher perspective that has to do with issues that groups, changes in the corporations, some other aspects of your higher self integration and expansion and advanced frequencies. We're coming into this year that is a very high frequency year, okay? This is in numerology, this actually is a 22 year. A lot of people break that down to a 4. I don't. I actually leave it at the 22 level when it comes out that way. And that is a very master year. So we're in our mastery, and we're into the highest solutions that we can bring to this planet from the higher frequencies. So let's try to step forward in that and be who we are meant to be on this planet, which is the loving beings that are here to work in unison and unity and cooperation with each other. That is what we are here to do, to create solutions for this world, to bring our own unique expressions as well. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Also want to share, if you guys would like to work with me privately, please go on to my website at lightstarcreations.com, and you will be able to buy this oracle deck if you would like to do that, or get a second deck to use for activators, which a lot of people do. You can also do session work, all different kinds of session work, from codes and symbols to custom coding to custom artwork to session work, which I tend to get booked up ahead of time. So if you want to do that, you're going to need to plan ahead. And I also want to just share for you guys that are experiencing a lot of difficulty and challenges to know that the energies of the angels, the galactics, the elementals, the fairies, all the beings of light and love that are definitely there for you. Please don't feel like you're alone in any of this. We are all on this journey together. Yes, we have a lot of work to do on this planet. and we're all here to contribute, and we're all here to support and help and love each other as best that we can. So with all that said, I would like to also encourage you guys to go onto my website at lightstarcreations.com and bookmark that. And you can also join this beautiful tribe here if you like. Make sure to, make sure to bookmark that site. I'm going to come on here again and explain about where I'm going, other processes and other places I'm expanding into, but I don't have it all figured out right now, but I'm working on it. So just know that I'll probably be, for 2020, for me, I'm going to be expanding in different either social media platforms and some other platforms. Probably going to be wanting to get some of your feedback as well. And but I'm going to come back on there and kind of share about what's going on there. I just wanted to put that out there just as the end of this video to remind you guys that if you liked my content, I do have a donation button as well. To please feel free. I would love for you guys to help me grow the platforms that I want to be doing, to expand, and to help me with all of that, to just donate to my channel if you guys have enjoyed my content. I provide a lot of content on here for you guys. Been doing this for, I don't know, over 6+ years, 8 years, something like that, long time. And I really appreciate all of you guys and all of your comments and everything that I've received so far, that you guys have really been enjoying the light language activations and also these oracle readings and the channelings and different content I bring on here. And I love doing it, but it is a lot of work for me, and my schedule is pretty heavy, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do, but in the future I will continue to do it, but in different ways and in new ways. So I will be back on to talk about that a little bit, but I send you guys love and lots of blessings, and all of the beautiful fairies and the angels and the star friends that send all of their loves as well. Their loves, it's plural. So they're sending their loves to you. So signing off for now. I'll see you guys really soon. Enjoy the energies of the close of a new year, and Happy New Year for everybody who is going to be celebrating that. I send you guys off with all the love and all the blessings for all the goodness coming. See you soon. Bye now.